Oh, man, I couldn't wait to talk about this today. I couldn't wait to talk about it today, man. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. I don't even know where to begin, man. I want to make sure I word my story, my opinion the right way so people don't fucking lynch me and hang me like they did Dave Meltzer. I don't agree with what Dave Meltzer said about Peyton Royce. I do not. I absolutely do not. I think she is a very attractive female. I think Peyton Royce has great potential. I've said it when she was in NXT. You guys can go back and watch me say something or anything about Peyton Royce. I liked the way she was coming along in NXT. On many occasions, I talked about Peyton Royce making Mr. Perfect proud with her Perfect Plex, her Fisherman Suplex. I think Peyton Royce is great. Do I think that they should have been called up to the main roster? No. Flat out, no. And the clip that I heard from the degenerates on social media who want to stir the pot, they clip something, yet they fail to listen to the entire thing. What Dave Meltzer said was fucked up. But what Dave Meltzer was trying to get at while he fucked up is the same thing that I've been saying for months now. I've been saying the same thing for months. He just worded it, unfortunately, in a miserable way, and he got destroyed for it. You see, Peyton Royce and the way she looks has absolutely no bearing on their position or where they go from here on SmackDown Live. It has no bearing whatsoever. We live in a world where people will dissect what you say, and they will be out to ruin you any chance that they get, because others, for some reason, love to see other people fail. The people on social media love to see high-profile people fall down and fail, and they will do whatever they can to make that person's life a living hell. It's simple. It happens to me. It happens to everybody. I can't tell you how many times people want to clip something from my shows, yet they watch anyway. They hate my guts and they watch me anyway. They clip something that they don't like or that they think is offensive. They clip some small shit from a Raw review or a SmackDown review or an off the script, and then they put it on social media and they get their followers to view it and retweet it and share it in hopes that something happens to me, yet they fail to listen to the entire thing, and they fail to grasp or listen to the point that I'm legitimately trying to make. They just want to fucking hone in on one thing that they think is offensive. And that's exactly what happened to Dave Meltzer here. Peyton Royce and her physique, Peyton Royce and her breast implants, which was a story back before we hit 2018, it was no secret to anybody. Has no bearing on what happens to the Iconics on SmackDown Live. Now, the point that Dave Meltzer was trying to make, while he fucked up, was the comparison between the main roster and NXT. And it's no different than what I say here on a weekly basis. The comparison between NXT and the main roster is there's more focus on wrestling. There's more focus on character development in NXT. And then when they get to the main roster, it's rushed. They don't have any creative ideas for them. They're sitting in catering. They're wasting away. And everything that they built up in NXT seemingly goes to waste. Dave Meltzer is not wrong. While he fucked up and said something that he shouldn't have, most of it was misinterpreted. He's not wrong in his assessment of when someone makes it to the main roster, they are ultimately buried. And this women's revolution, this women's evolution, is nothing but a fucking farce. It's bullshit. It's absolutely bullshit. The WWE as a whole is fucking bullshit. Everybody that tweeted out Dave Meltzer on Thursday and Wednesday is bullshit. Every single person that tweeted Dave Meltzer was an absolute fucking hypocrite. An absolute hypocrite. I don't agree with what the man said. I would never body shame anybody. I would not body shame Peyton Royce. There's no reason for her to be body shamed. She looks fantastic. The entire story here is something that people really aren't focusing on. They're focusing on the comments of, oh, she looked a little bit lighter in NXT. Fine, he fucked up. But what people are not grasping is the fact of the comparison between NXT and Raw SmackDown. That's what they were trying to get at. I don't even know why they were talking about, oh, she was more attractive in NXT compared to where she is now. Who the fuck cares? Who cares? That's not the reason why the Iconics are not being pushed on SmackDown Live. But the WWE Women's Revolution is a bunch of fucking bullshit. This is the same fucking company. All these fucking hypocrites coming to her defense. And all the fans and all these fucking people that sent out the fucking mob on Dave Meltzer for no fucking reason. Every single one of you is a fucking hypocrite. I got my notes here. Let's run through just a fucking little bit that I got here. This is the same fucking company that shits on Kevin Owens on a monthly basis for his fucking size. They make fun of his weight, whether it's in a skit on Monday Night Raw, or Randy Orton or one of his colleagues coming out on social media saying how big he is or how fat he is. This is the same fucking company. All you people, the same fans trying to fucking get at Dave Meltzer are the same fucking people that make fun of Kevin Owens' weight. Bray Wyatt suffered the same thing. You know how many people I see, even today, say Bray Wyatt is fat. It even happens with Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is fat. Yet all these same people are coming to Peyton Royce's defense for the body shaming done to her by Dave Meltzer. And speaking on Samoa Joe, wasn't Samoa Joe not signed to the WWE because WWE management thought he was too fat or he was a fat Samoan? Where is he now? Where is he now? Boy, their stance changed real fucking fast. Becky Lynch is another one. Female performer, an integral part in the women's revolution. Becky Lynch, reportedly, has been held back since her debut on SmackDown Live because WWE management isn't a fan of her accent. Nia Jax. Do I even need to get into Nia Jax? Do I even need to get into Nia Jax? Nia Jax was just in a storyline with Alexa Bliss going into WrestleMania, where Alexa Bliss had a promo saying that it would be a disgrace for Nia Jax to walk out of WrestleMania as the women's champion because she'll be walking out of WrestleMania with the women's championship in one hand and a chicken wing in the other. Nia Jax constantly posts on social media how they're snickering earlier in the year when she goes to work out about her size and her weight. These are the same fucking people. What about Mickie James, a veteran, a Hall of Famer for this company? Wasn't she in a storyline where people called her Piggy James? Oh, I think I forgot about that one though, right? Samoa Joe I mentioned before he made it to NXT, not signed because he was a fat Samoan. I wonder what changed there. Before Bryan and Punk solidified the indie worker in WWE, they never looked, WWE did, they never looked at any performer with the body type of Daniel Bryan and CM Punk because they were too small. Yet in their prime, they were two of the best workers on the planet that this industry had to offer. That's not body shaming. I don't know what is. This is the very same company that uses cool phrases like revolution and evolution for the women. Yet, for what it seems like 2 years now, and ever since this shit has kicked off, they have suppressed, the WWE has suppressed every talented female on that roster and has pushed nothing but blonde Barbie dolls who can't wrestle as flag bearers for each division on Raw and SmackDown. They have absolutely suppressed every worker in that division who can legitimately work for the sake of looks. Yet you want to come to Peyton Royce's defense because of what Dave Meltzer said. Dave Meltzer actually stuck up for the women when they were not allowed to go into Saudi Arabia and wrestle for the greatest Royal Rumble. WWE, they went into the country of Saudi Arabia and wrestled without the women because Saudi Arabia paid them upwards towards, I don't know how much money, $200 million or whatever the fuck it was. Dave Meltzer, on his radio show, stuck up for the women in that instance and did not agree with WWE going into that country because of how it would affect the women's morale. But nobody wants to bring that up though, right? Dave Meltzer was also against what we seen in the Attitude Era with the likes of women getting on all hands and knees, all fours, barking like a dog in front of Vince McMahon. He says that was absolutely disgusting and sickening back in the day. But nobody wants to bring that up though, right? Jim Cornette stated in an interview that The Big Show, a man that WWE coins the largest athlete in the world, that The Big Show, upon his WWE debut, was sent down to OVW upon his debut in the company because they wanted him to lose weight. They thought he was too big and too large to get over. Yet this is the same company that wants to come out of the woodwork and have everybody just gang up and go after Dave Meltzer. And I'm sure there's another fucking 1,000 things I could mention, but these are just the fucking things I had off the top of my head. Now, I do not agree with body shaming in any sense. I've never called anyone fat. I've never sat here and said anything like that. I never, ever, ever, ever shamed another individual's body. Okay? All I've said and all I've insinuated, which is a perfectly legitimate argument, is the fact that WWE pushes blonde Barbie dolls, people who can't wrestle, as their flag bearers and world champions in their women's division. That's the extent of what I said, and that is a perfectly reasonable argument. The women's revolution is nothing but the divas revolution, just disguised. It's all the same shit. We don't see Sasha Banks, Bayley, Ember Moon, Ruby Riott, Asuka, Naomi are not on SummerSlam's card. Is it truly a revolution? Those are some of the best workers that you have in that entire company. You have to be out of your fucking mind. You have to be out of your fucking mind. You know, we sit here and talk about professional wrestling. I love it. I've been a fan for over 30 years. I absolutely love it. If WWE does something that I enjoy, I will say it. And I will express it and I will share it with everybody. If WWE doesn't do something that I think that they should have done, or if they do something that I absolutely loathe and disgust and hate, then I will say it. It's my opinion, and I can do whatever the fuck I want here. It's my opinion. People won't agree with me. People will agree with me. That's the great thing about professional wrestling. Okay? Professional wrestlers live a very difficult life. The training that goes into being a professional wrestler, I can't even fathom doing that in this lifetime or the next. I can't do it. I would not do it. I'd rather sit on the sidelines and watch, or I'd rather sit at the commentary booth and do it there. Or I'd rather be a manager and be involved in it somehow in a non-athletic, part of the environment that I love. I wouldn't do it. What they do, day in and day out, to prepare for something that they love, to make a career out of, is absolutely admirable. I love it. It's the most respectable thing to me because I love this business so much. They are in a business that is going to be critiqued. They are in a business that is spotlighted and will continue to be spotlighted, even more so now that they're going to a major network in Fox. They're on ESPN. ESPN is covering them. Every major news outlet is covering them on weekends like this weekend. They have every eye in the world on what they do. It is part of the business. You will be critiqued. You will be critiqued when something goes wrong. You will be critiqued when you have a bad night. You will be critiqued when you have a great night and you gave the best match of your fucking career. It comes with the territory. And everybody has a right to talk about what these men and women do. Because we love the business and we are fans of what they do. There is a certain line that one should not cross. Wrestlers are the most saltiest people on social media because they feel like you don't know anything about the business and you have absolutely no right in talking about what they do. I've been watching this shit for 30 fucking years. If anybody has a right to speak on wrestling from a fan's perspective, it is me. I don't know what they do in that ring. I don't know how a fucking bump feels. I don't know how a fall feels. I don't know how going through a table feels. I don't know anything about what they do in that ring feels. I don't want to know how it feels. I know they risk their fucking lives every single time they step in that ring for our enjoyment. But that doesn't mean you're prone. That doesn't mean you're void of being critiqued on what you do. You're in a sport that is absolutely full of nothing but shallow people looking at you at all angles based on your look. The entire world of professional wrestling is based on aesthetics. Every single part of it. Every single part of it. Do you think if Hulk Hogan was 50, 60 pounds lighter back in his day, he would be where he was today? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The men and women today, they are prone, being on social media, even it makes things worse. They are prone to being judged in every aspect of what they do. I remember when the Mae Young Classic went on last year, and the negative shit that I seen about Piper Niven hit the internet. She posts pictures of herself in scantily clad clothing. She posts pictures of herself with absolutely no shame, and she was absolutely, besides Toni Storm, my favorite part of the Mae Young Classic last year. The shit and vile, disgusting shit that I seen on Facebook when WWE tweeted out about the Mae Young Classic and a match, I forgot what match it was, with Piper Niven. The fucking disgusting shit that I seen in the comments section. My God, I don't even know how these people have access to internet. That's the shit that you're opening yourself up to. And that comes with the territory. People tell me to have a fucking thick skin on YouTube doing this shit. Wrestlers, men and women, need to have an even thicker skin. But this fucking body shaming shit from Dave Meltzer, yes, it was wrong, but I honestly believe everybody blew it out of fucking proportion. The main thing, while he fucked up, the main topic of discussion was about the differences between NXT and the main roster, which I state every single week on this very channel. Whatever they're doing in NXT is working. The presentation of everybody on Monday Night Raw, through the fucking political garbage that we see every single week, to the same people being shoved down our throats every single week, there is a difference, and that is what they wanted to discuss. While he fucked up and mentioned that she was lighter and more attractive, that has absolutely no bearing on what's happening with the Iconics. They are a victim of bad creative. They are a victim of bad booking. The extent of what he said should have ended there. The size of her breasts, how thin she is, how big she is, has absolutely no bearing on anything. On what she does in that ring. Nothing. I mentioned the wrestlers being salty on social media. You argue about something with a pro wrestler on social media, they will always act as if you don't know shit and that they're always right in everything. Who the fuck are you to tell me something? Stay in your lane and watch as a fan while we, who understand the business, work. You know, Dave Meltzer is the most notable name in all of pro wrestling journalism. We go to him for the news. Every dirt sheet you read, they're plucking shit from the Wrestling Observer. His name is at the very top of a long list of people who want to get into the wrestling business as far as journalism goes. He is the biggest name in what we do. And he critiques the product accordingly to what he sees. You know, I was told when I met the New Day, I met Xavier Woods at Barcade last year. And I mentioned about how podcasts are looked down upon. And being that I'm very open about my feelings towards the product because I love it so much, I'm so passionate about it. And I feel WWE has all this potential that they're not utilizing. He says, someone in my position, you know, isn't going to go anywhere because of all the negativity. And that pro wrestlers, especially the WWE locker room, doesn't listen to people like Meltzer or doesn't listen to podcasts in general. Now, I knew that was a bullshit statement. I knew that was completely fucking grade A bullshit. Because they all know Dave Meltzer. And they all know the star rating, and they all know that he critiques the product. You know, a lot of people probably in WWE don't like Dave Meltzer. Baron Corbin got into it with Dave Meltzer. Several others have gotten into it with Dave Meltzer. Eric Bischoff fucking hates Dave Meltzer. If you listen to 83 Weeks, the way Bischoff puts down Dave Meltzer is a fucking idiot and a piece of shit. Go listen to any episode of 83 Weeks where Conrad is pulling shit from the Wrestling Observer and Bischoff is stating how wrong Meltzer is and how much of a fucking idiot Dave Meltzer is. Everybody, the majority of the people in this industry don't like Dave Meltzer. They waited. They seen this instance and their eyes lit up like fucking a child on Christmas Day when this small little mistake that Meltzer made, and he did make a mistake. I want to make sure you guys are aware that I'm saying, yes, Meltzer made a mistake. These people, everybody in the WWE, everybody that doesn't like Meltzer for whatever reason, their eyes lit up like a little child on Christmas Day when they seen this little fucking mistake he made, and they attacked like fucking blood in a open water with fucking sharks. They all just gathered and they just went in at him. Like he was being chained up and everybody took a fucking whip and started lashing him. One after another. Of course they were going to come after Dave Meltzer the way that they did. It was a fucking lynch mob. They felt like they could get him back now for all the shit that he's talked about anybody's performance or anybody's match or how bad the WWE was on any given night and how many times this fucking match has sucked and who sucks here and who sucks there. They waited to get their digs in on him for everything that they heard in the past, and this was their opening. It was a fucking lynch mob. Everybody that doesn't like Dave Meltzer, they took turns beating him like a fucking punching bag. Even Bischoff came out and stood up for Peyton Royce because of him not liking Dave Meltzer. This was nothing but a Dave Meltzer fucking Broadway show. Everybody just shitting on him because of everything that they don't like about him or everything that he says negatively about those individuals in the past or everything that he said negatively about the WWE. Did what Dave Meltzer say, is what he said wrong? Yes, absolutely. I'll say it once, I'm going to say it again. Whatever Peyton Royce looks like has no bearing on where she stands in WWE right now. No bearing. But what's underneath, what the point was that they were trying to make was the differences between NXT and the main roster. To me, the women's revolution is fucking bullshit. And I have every fucking right. And you can go back and listen to any fucking video I do here, how much I stand up for the women. How much I fucking adore Sasha Banks. And how much I adore Ruby Riott and Ember Moon. And I love Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane and Candice LeRae. Bianca Belair. Toni fucking Storm. How I love the women's division. How I wish I was in charge of the women's division. Because I would love to push the real initiative in the women's division. The women's division has not been built on the foundation that it was built on since the beginning. They have not taken what started it all and built upon it. The WWE main roster women's revolution is much different than the NXT's version of the women's revolution. Unless you're pretty, and unless you're blonde, and you have some sort of enhancements, which everybody has, you're going to get pushed. WWE has put it right in your face. Why, in any promotion, would Alexa Bliss be a women's champion? Or Carmella be a women's champion? They can't wrestle. And I know who can wrestle and who can't wrestle. All you have to do is watch the fucking program. Sasha Banks has been suppressed. Ember Moon's been suppressed. Ruby Riott. Asuka. Open your eyes. The revolution is bullshit. It's a divas division disguised as some sort of women's movement. Meanwhile, the women's movement on their main roster has absolutely no comparison to what started it all in NXT. They try and make you think so, but there isn't. There isn't. I'm going to end on this. What if Dave Meltzer went out on Wednesday, and instead of talking about Peyton Royce, he came out and mentioned, oh, Dean Ambrose is looking big. He looks a lot bigger than the last time I seen him. Has he been pumping himself with the Jinder Mahal diet? Has he been visiting Jinder Mahal's fucking needle guy? Has he been injecting himself with that ginger juice? If he came out and mentioned anything about Dean Ambrose looking significantly larger and unnatural or more toned, right? Instead of Peyton Royce, would people get on him for body shaming Dean Ambrose? Would you get on him for body shaming Dean Ambrose because he's a male? Or is it because Dave Meltzer mentioned a female and everybody feels like they need to take a stance to fit in on what's going on with today's society? If it happened with Peyton Royce, it should happen with a Dean Ambrose or a Jinder Mahal. Someone who looks significantly larger than the last time we seen them. But if those guys were raised in discussion, I very seriously doubt that people would be making a big deal about Meltzer talking about either one of them. But all because it's a female, a very attractive female with a lot of potential and a lot of promise, people want to feel like they have to fit in to whatever movement, whatever trendy movement's going on now. What Dave Meltzer said was wrong. But the clip that was showcased, the clip that was shown to Peyton Royce on social media was only 58 seconds. And it didn't highlight the point that they were trying to make. It was one of those instances where someone picks out something because they want to feel like, you know, that they have some type of role in their pitiful life. And they feel like, you know, let me ruin this guy's fucking day, or let me ruin this guy's week today. Let me see this guy squirm because he deserves it. I don't like him. For no reason I don't like him. I don't like him. So let me see him squirm a little bit. It happens to everybody. Can't even begin to tell you how many people do it to me. They do it every fucking week. People clip something that they don't like, that they find offensive, yet other people don't find it offensive, and they try to turn it on me, making me seem like the asshole. Meanwhile, they don't even listen to the fucking show and listen to the point that I'm trying to make. They want to nail me on something that was never there in hopes that people turn against me. And that's exactly what happened here with Dave Meltzer. Everybody that didn't like him to begin with now has a reason to fucking speak on it publicly on social media. Give me a break. What Dave Meltzer said was wrong. Was it blown out of proportion? Absolutely. Just like everything else on social media. I don't agree with what Dave Meltzer said, but there is a clear difference between the main roster and NXT. Open your fucking eyes. I don't have to speak on it anymore. You could see it for yourself. That's all I'm going to say here about that. This is Off the Script. It's SummerSlam weekend, and we're going to go over preview and predictions. We're going to go over the entire SummerSlam card, the best that I possibly can. I also have a That Wrestling Club unboxing. This is episode 235 of Off the Script for your SummerSlam weekend, man. Let's hit the introduction, and I'll see you guys right here on Off the Script.
You know, it seems like an eternity that the House of Glory officials and Austin Aries have been trying to get on the same page to make this happen, and now the time is here. August 17th, it's going down. But as part of the deal, I get to call my own shots. I get to make the matchup. And now about 2 weeks out, the House of Glory officials are sweating. They want to know, Austin Aries, what's your match? Well, here's what we're gonna do. I'm all about doing things that have never been done before. I'm all about creating opportunity. The Impact World title will be defended. Against who, you ask? Anybody who wants to step in the ring with me. It's an open challenge. House of Glory, bring your best. Anybody in the New York area, step on in the ring. The invitation's open. Austin Aries, the Impact World title. House of Glory ring, August 17th. Who's gonna step up and answer the challenge?
Off this shitty fucking product by coming on here and speaking the fucking goddamn truth about this fucking filth.
And I can book a better show taking a fucking dump after eating my fucking Chipotle chorizo with extra cheese.
I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. Have I ever? Of course not.
WWE is great, man. Fuck you, Japan, and Kenny Omega, Okada. Delete! What is it, man? Can I suck your dick? What is it, man?
And this is the #1 fucking podcast.
Right here on YouTube.com!
This is Off the Script. Tonight is the night, man. Tonight is the night. House of Glory is in New York City, Queens, NYC Arena, August 17th, High Intensity 7. It's going to be a monumental show. This is the biggest show that House of Glory has ever put on, and it's going to be absolutely chaotic, man. The main event tonight is a World Championship match between the Amazing Red and Anthony Gangone. He's the biggest name inside the House of Glory roster. And this is a sanctioned match, the most dangerous match in all of House of Glory, a no-ropes match. It's going to be nothing but a ring and no ropes. And these guys have no rules. They can do whatever they want. And I'm expecting it to be absolutely unbelievable. Because if I know Red and what I've seen of Red and what I know of Anthony Gangone, these guys are going to tear the fucking house down, man. On top of that, Austin Aries is going to be defending the Impact World Heavyweight Championship for the first time ever inside a House of Glory ring. Sami Callihan's going to be there defending his Crown Jewel Championship against Low Ki. We're going to have a tag team title match with LAX. It's going to be a big night, man. And on top of that, me and Solomonster are going to be working the show for the first time together ever. And we're going to do a pre-show starting at 5 o'clock, man. It's going to be big. So if you guys are going to be in the New York City area, you need something to do, don't get lost in New York. Please don't get lost in New York. Come on over to Jamaica, Queens. HOGWrestling.net. It's going to be damn near sold out. So make sure you guys get your last-minute tickets. That's Friday. What are we doing Saturday, might you ask? Well, Well, I'm going to be in Brooklyn. I'm going to be in Brooklyn very early on Saturday morning after this House of Glory show. NXT TakeOver is happening on Saturday night. And if you guys missed my preview and predictions, I did a 45-minute preview and predictions video of NXT TakeOver Brooklyn number 4. I'm going to link you guys in the annotation up in the top right corner of your screen. Go and check that out. I did something a little bit different this week. Instead of doing it in here with the SummerSlam, I did it in its own separate video. So go check that out. I highlight everything that we've seen so far in the build up to TakeOver Brooklyn. I did not do an NXT regular review after the go-home show on Wednesday because everything I talked about in the video would probably be the same thing I would have talked about on Wednesday's video. So I didn't need to do it. So I didn't cover NXT this week. So go check that out if you missed it. But on Saturday, I'm going to be in Brooklyn from 2 to 5. I'm going to get there a little bit earlier, just kind of have a few drinks on my own. I'm going to be in Brooklyn from 2 to 5. I want you guys to come on out to the 4th Avenue Pub. I want you guys to come out to the 4th Avenue Pub. It is a craft beer bar, and they're going to have happy hour from the hours of, I think, 3 to 5. So that fits right in the time I'm going to be there. So come on out. I'm going to be doing a small gathering, a small meet and greet. I have a Facebook event invite that I want you guys to RSVP for. Okay, you guys got one day. If you are going to be in New York City and you listen to this podcast, if you are in Brooklyn this weekend and you want to come on out, you want to call me a goon, you want to say how much I'm fucking terrible at what I do, whatever, come on out. Let's fill this fucking place. Let's show them that off the script means business. I already have a nice handful of people coming already who RSVP'd for this thing. Come on out. I'll leave you guys the link down below in the comment section. Please go to that and RSVP. Let me know if you're coming, if you want to come. I want to get a head count of how many people are going to show up, and I'd love to see each and every one of you, man. I'm going to be wearing my Summer Scam t-shirt, my Summer Scam 2018 t-shirt, so you guys will know where I am. 4th Avenue Pub. It is on 76 4th Avenue, 3 minutes from the Barclays Center. So if you guys are going to take over, you'll be right there. 4th Avenue Pub, JD Off the Script Meetup. Come meet me in Brooklyn. And then Sunday is the main event, man. Sunday, I can't wait for Sunday. I can't wait for Sunday, man. There's going to be wrestling-themed drinks. There's going to be wrestling-themed food items. We're going to be at 205th. I'm going to be with Justin LaBar. I'm going to be with Ticket Drew. We're going to be doing a meet and greet. We're going to be doing a Q&A. We're going to be doing a live panel discussion. We may do a table for 3 like we did in Pittsburgh, but this time a little bit less drunk. Maybe we'll get Justin to just come on out and actually be real this time. I'm trying to get him on my level slowly but surely, but it's a very difficult task. But anyway, man, I'll be there with Justin LaBar. I'll be there with Ticket Drew. It's going to be fucking awesome. He's going to be moderating the entire thing. It's going to be great. Come on out. 205th on Sunday, SummerSlam Sunday. That is between the hours of 3 and 6 p.m. So come on out. I'll be there. Justin LaBar will be there. A few surprises are going to be there. Ticket Drew is going to be there. It's going to be a good time, man. 205th on Sunday, SummerSlam Sunday from the hours of 3 to 6. It's going to be a jam-packed weekend. So I got House of Glory, the Off the Script meetup on Saturday, the Justin LaBar Wrestling reality meet and greet, kind of mixed in with my own meet and greet. It's going to be great, man. SummerSlam weekend is going to kick ass. I'm actually looking forward to all the stuff happening outside of SummerSlam that I actually am SummerSlam. So I can't wait for all that, man. If you missed Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live, and my NXT TakeOver preview and predictions, links are in the annotation. Go and check that out. Please do so. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. If you guys want to support the podcast, there are several ways to do that. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Some of the nicest looking designs for a podcast that you would find in the business right now, man. And I got some damn good people helping me out getting this artwork out there for you, man. My buddy Salrex, he works hard on making everything look good for the channel. My buddy Mike Will, he does all my layouts for my pay-per-view reviews, my Monday Night Raw SmackDown Live layouts. He's the wizard behind that. Salrex designed the Summer Scam t-shirt. He designed the And His Empire Is Still Not Over t-shirt. And if you guys would come meet me on Sunday, I'm going to be wearing the rare limited edition Roman Reigns, get off my TV design. So we'll see what happens with that. I want to see how over that really is when I meet people in person. But I got some damn good people helping me out with these designs, man. 17 in total. The SummerSlam design is actually in two colors. One that you see there with the original SummerSlam logo in the orange font. I love that the Off the Script logo is in orange as well. And it also comes in a baby blue with the orange font and the black trim. A lot of you guys have been ordering that, man. A lot of people have been going for the blue. So if you guys want to get that or anything else, please visit barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. If you guys visit the site and enter code BSHOP20, you are going to save 20% off your purchase, man. And that is an unlimited code. So please go over there and save yourself some money and support the podcast. And there you go. Thank you guys so much for that. Harry's, man, you know, I'm recording this before House of Glory, and as soon as I am done here recording Off the Script, it's Thursday night around 11 o'clock. As soon as I'm done here, man, I'm going to shave, and I'm going to get myself ready, and I'm going to get myself looking good. You know, I'm going to shape my beard, and I'm going to get ready for high intensity. I'm going to get ready for House of Glory. I would not be able to do that. I would not be able to look as good. My beard would not be looking as great as it does every week without Harry's, man. Harry's, I've been using this for 5 months now, and it is absolutely the best shave of your entire life. It's the best shave I've ever had, man. And I don't just say that. I am very fickle. I'm very picky. I'm a very particular individual. And when I like something, I really like it, and it's very difficult for me to change, man. I've been using Harry's as a recommendation from my dad and my brother. And I tried it for the first time, and I'm like, I have to use this. I have to go out and buy myself a set, and that's exactly what I did. I haven't looked back since, man. And I want you guys to feel the same way that I do. I want you guys to look the same way I do. I want you to look great. And you guys are going to look great with Harry's. Harrys.com/script. I want you guys to use my unique link. Enter your information, and you're going to be able to get yourself your very own free trial shave set. And Harry's wants to give you this set for free. All you have to do is pay the shipping and handling. And once you do that, I guarantee you, whatever you're using now is going to go right in the trash. Harry's is going to be your number one for all your shaving needs, man. You're going to get a handle, a blade, a protective case, and the shave gel, which you guys have commented to me on. Man, it feels good. And man, does it smell good. So I want you guys to feel that. Feel the power of Harry's. Harrys.com/script. Go get your free trial shave set. It'll be delivered in a couple of days. All you have to do is pay the shipping and handling, and you're good to go, man. Harrys.com/script. Audibletrial.com/offthescript. Fine friends of the podcast. They've been sponsoring the podcast for a year and a half now, and they have done a fantastic job. Audibletrial.com/offthescript. You're going to get 1 month free of Audible and one free audiobook of your choice. And it's a great way to support the show. Over 200,000 audiobooks to choose from any genre that your heart desires. And if you guys have already signed up, man, either you have an alternative email or you can give Audible as a gift. Tell a friend, tell a family member, tell your girlfriend's folks, tell a person at school that you are sitting next to in class, tell a colleague at work, anybody, man. Audible, audibletrial.com/offthescript. Get yourself 1 month free of Audible service and a free audiobook today and support the show. And again, there he is, man. He's going to be with me in just a few hours. Solomonster and JD doing a special pre-show panel at High Intensity 7, man. Awesome, awesome stuff. That Wrestling Club is one of my favorite unboxings during the month, man. And they took a month off, and they reached out to me. JD, we want to send you a box. We want to get you back on doing the unboxings on Off the Script. And I'm like, send them over, man. You guys are absolutely beast at what you do. I love what's in here, man. They put care and thought into everything that goes in this box. I wish I could say the same about others. ThatWrestlingClub.com. I want you guys to go to the website. I want you guys to go to Twitter and follow them on Twitter, at That Wrestling Club, okay? I want you guys to go over there and tell them that I sent you over there. And if you enjoy what you see here, if you like what you see in this box, I want you guys to go to the website, choose your subscription. They have 3 different choices to choose from, I believe. A cruiserweight, a middleweight, or a super heavyweight, or something like that. Something along those lines. There's 3 tiers. And I want you guys to enter the coupon code JDFROMNY. And I believe you're going to save 20% off your first subscription. So please go and do that and support that wrestling club, man. They are legitimately the best wrestling subscription service delivered to your door, man. Let's open this up. I'm really excited about this because I heard what was in it. I'm not sure if it's going to be as good for me, but look at this, man. Something I did not have, and you know I love this, and you know I love these. I got a Funko Pop here, man. Sergeant Slaughter. Let me turn my camera on so I know if I'm pointing at it the right way. Sergeant Slaughter, man. Funko Pop. That is fucking awesome. And look at this series. I didn't even know these were available, man. I haven't really been keeping up on it. Triple H, Skull King. They got Mr. McMahon. They got Kurt Angle. And they have Asuka. I have not seen Asuka anywhere. Look at that. They have Asuka. Now, if there's one, out of all those ones that I want Asuka. You know? But Sergeant Slaughter, man, look at that. Funko Pop, I love it. I absolutely love it, man. We'll keep him there. Box is kind of fucked up, though. I don't like that. I like my boxes pristine. What do we got here, man? Ooh, I like this pin. Chris Jericho pin there, man. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful stuff right there. Him in his glittery jacket. Good stuff. What do we got here? What do we got here? T-shirt. T-shirt, T-shirt. Oh, look at this. Is pretty fucking cool, man. I'll wear this around the house for sure. The Barber. That's a nice... Bruce Beefcakes never looked so good, bro. That's a nice fucking design there. Holy shit. That's a nice design, man. Large. I gotta tell them I wear mediums. I went back to a medium because I feel like the shirts are too large on me. But it is what it is, man. Bruce the Barber Beefcake t-shirt. Nicely done there. Yes, they got a small, actually they have two. They got cruiserweight and then they have a heavyweight box. So if you guys, like I said, go to thatwrestlingclub.com and choose your subscription, you guys can enter the coupon code JDFROMNY and save on your first subscription. Look at this, man. This is pretty fucking cool. Wow. The Kevin Steen Show with Adam Cole. So we did this amazing interview with Adam Cole, and before we could release our interview, every shoot interview company released their own Adam Cole shoot interview. So look at highspots.com, man, giving you the Kevin Steen Show, and Adam Cole sitting down with Kevin Steen. The man who's going to be fighting Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States Championship this Sunday at SummerSlam, Jeff Hardy. Nice little design there, man. It's pretty fucking cool. And we got an autograph. Who's the autograph? Ooh. Wow, 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 man. This is fucking awesome. And no, it ain't The Miz. I'll tell you what, man. That wrestling club is so good that they get current WWE superstars. They get current WWE superstars with autographs and exclusive items. I think this is the only box in the United States that actually does that. And this may be one of the best photos that we've got. There were 725 of these, and I'm lucky to be one of those 725, man. What does WWE stand for? Look at that. That is fucking awesome. I love that. Absolutely love that, man. You know, I heard, just recently I heard that he was supposed to have a concert at the Gramercy Theater in New York City, and it got canceled. WWE canceled it. Now, I don't know what the reason was. I heard that they weren't really selling all that well for the Gramercy Theater, and WWE pulled the plug on the live performance, and they're promising Elias a live performance at SummerSlam. I'm not sure about that. If I find any news on that, I'll report it here on the podcast, but that's fucking awesome. That's fucking awesome, man. Thatwrestlingclub.com. Please make sure you guys go and support them, man. This crate was top notch. Good shit right there. Thatwrestlingclub.com. Let's get into the SummerSlam preview and predictions, man. You guys know how I feel about SummerSlam. Not going to give you any news. I'm going to save everything for the weekend, so I have content spread out for the entire weekend, being that I'm going to be in Brooklyn and probably away from my home the majority of the weekend. My thoughts on SummerSlam, man. To be perfectly honest with you, it's nothing more than an Extreme Rules do-over. It's Extreme Rules 2.0. That's all it is. SummerSlam is too long. It's going the way of WrestleMania. It's going to be 7 hours long. You're pretty much getting a 2-hour show with the pre-show, and then you're going to get 5 hours of SummerSlam. So it's starting at 5, and more than likely will go till 12. And there's 13 matches on the show. I want to say here that, A, I don't like the longer shows. I don't. I think they are absolutely excruciating to get through. I don't enjoy them. I don't want to be sitting doing anything for 5 hours, let alone watching a subpar wrestling product. I do it because I love it. Deep down, I love it. And I force myself to watch this weekly program on Monday and Tuesday. I sit through these monthly pay-per-views that are extended to 4 hours long, and with these big shows like WrestleMania, Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, 5 hours long, 5.5 hours long. It's too long. It is too fucking long. I do not feel 1 ounce of pity for anybody that has to sit in the Barclays Center and watch 5 hours of WWE product. Current WWE product right now. And it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. WWE feels, and it's been widely reported, WrestleVotes talked about it, several other outlets picked up on it, WWE doesn't feel like SummerSlam has any excitement around it. And they don't know why. What don't you understand? Why are you telling everybody why you don't feel or you don't understand that there's some excitement for SummerSlam? Why isn't there enough excitement for SummerSlam? We got this big main event. We got Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. We got Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns in a match that we've seen twice already this year alone. We've seen it at WrestleMania. We've seen it at the Greatest Royal Rumble. And now we're getting it again for SummerSlam. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam is only the second main event in WWE history to main event both WrestleMania and SummerSlam in the same calendar year. It features 2 guys that nobody wants to see anymore. One of them being Roman Reigns. The initiative, the agenda, the political push to get this guy over as the babyface of this company has failed at every twist and turn. I don't need to explain this to you anymore. The lengths that WWE has gone to brainwash you, manipulate you, use every asset that they have to get this guy over, ultimately to ride on into New York City thinking that it's going to be a success. And it's going to be nothing but a complete failure. Roman Reigns is not the chosen one. The people do not want Roman Reigns in the position that he's in. WWE is pushing a guy that ultimately the fans do not want. The majority of the fans do not want Roman Reigns. And then Roman Reigns comes out and states, well, aren't I already a heel? Roman Reigns comes out and says that all his haters are closet fans. No, we aren't closet fans, motherfucker. And no, Roman Reigns is not a heel. You do not push a guy the way you do Roman Reigns and call him a heel. Roman Reigns is either a fucking idiot or he's being fed political garbage by WWE. If you push someone like Tommaso Ciampa on WWE television, that is a heel. He embodies everything that is a heel. When you push Roman Reigns as a superhero, when you push Roman Reigns as a hero to the men and women in the locker room, standing up for what's right, fighting to get the championship back on Monday Night Raw for a weekly basis, that's not a heel. But Roman Reigns is telling me and everybody else that we're closet fans. The haters are closet fans. And that he's a heel. What's the difference? I'm getting booed. No, we're booing you because you are being miscast and you're not being portrayed the right way. I mean, is everybody a fucking retard? I mean, how difficult is it? And then you got the fucking analysts and the journalists. Roman Reigns is over. Where? How is he over? Brock Lesnar came out on Monday Night Raw after he was pepper sprayed and F5'd him to chance of one more time. How is the man over? Who is he over with? The majority of the wrestling audience hates this man for the way he's being portrayed. And WWE trolled everybody on Monday night. They trolled everybody on Monday night. And then you want to know why there's no level of excitement for SummerSlam. The one thing that you teased on Monday night, the one thing that we've all asked for the last 4 years, you tease it on Monday Night Raw, and instantly, within a blink of an eye, you flush any excitement that this main event had down the fucking toilet. With one handshake, WWE could have had everybody on the edge of their seat. With one handshake, the last 4 years could have vanished. Roman Reigns turning heel and aligning himself with a vile, disgusting human being in Paul Heyman would have been great. It's not the idea that I would go with, but WWE teased what everybody's been asking for and then ultimately just said, fuck it. But I'll talk about that when we talk about Reigns and Brock Lesnar. You know, it might be something else than what we seen on Monday night. Why isn't there any other level of excitement for SummerSlam? Alexa Bliss versus Ronda Rousey? I mean, I don't really care for or care about Alexa Bliss. I'm not invested in Alexa Bliss's character. I think a lot of people understand why Alexa Bliss and Ronda Rousey are going one-on-one. But what people don't care for is the fact that Alexa Bliss is at every twist and turn at the focus, at the top. She is a priority in this division, a division that has Bayley, Sasha Banks, Ruby Riott, and Ember Moon. 4 women who people are looking at and scratching their heads as to why, A, they're not on SummerSlam, and B, why is WWE opting to push Alexa Bliss, who doesn't even have a tenth of the wrestling ability as the last 4 women that I just mentioned? Why is she in a high-profile match and these other women aren't even on the show? Why is she being pushed as a Raw Women's Champion and she can't even wrestle a fucking paper bag correctly? You know? She's in the... where is she? She's on vacation. She was on vacation this week instead of prepping for SummerSlam. She was in the Bahamas or the Caribbean. On vacation this week after Monday Night Raw ceased or stopped touring and they were about to get ready to come to New York City. She was on vacation instead of getting ready for Ronda Rousey. Meanwhile, Ronda Rousey's down at the Performance Center training her ass off for this match. Yeah, you want to make this woman a women's champion. That's why nobody gives a fuck about this match. They want Ronda to win. The only reason why Alexa Bliss is in this position is because of her mouth. She's a good talker. And she's a good antagonist to the babyface Ronda Rousey. But I don't give a shit about this match. The only thing I care about is if WWE makes the right decision. Give the title to Ronda and let's start prepping for what's next. Alexa Bliss has seen her time. Do you believe Alexa Bliss is a 5-time women's champion? 5 fucking times. And Sasha Banks has barely held on to that title for more than a combined 20 days, 30 days in 5 reigns. 4 reigns. 4, I don't know how many she has. 4 or 5 reigns. She hasn't held the title combined in those reigns that haven't equaled a month. Meanwhile, Alexa Bliss is your Raw Women's Champion, SmackDown Women's Champion, a 5-time Women's Champion in this company. Can you believe that? What a fucking joke. Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens. This is a rematch for Money in the Bank. WWE, the only thing that they're giving you here is A, yes, it's a rematch, and B, there's a stipulation. If Braun Strowman gets disqualified, counted out, or loses in any possible way, he loses the Money in the Bank briefcase. But ultimately, it's a rematch from Money in the Bank, or Extreme Rules, rather. Extreme Rules. Braun Strowman won the Money in the Bank. I apologize. This is a rematch from Extreme Rules. And WWE needs to make it interesting by putting the Money in the Bank briefcase on the line. Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins. Ultimately, it's the same match. It's another Extreme Rules rematch. The only wrinkle here is that Dean Ambrose came back. What are we going to see differently? Ambrose is in the corner of Seth Rollins. McIntyre, obviously, is in the corner of Dolph Ziggler. What are we going to see differently that we haven't seen from these two guys, outside of Ambrose and McIntyre getting involved? Nothing. Carmella, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair. Another women's match that I'm hoping WWE makes the right decision on. And we'll talk about that as we talk about the match. Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak. I don't care. I don't think WWE should have given it to Drew Gulak. I wouldn't went with anybody else but Drew Gulak. Where's Mustafa Ali? What about Buddy Murphy? What happened to Leo Rush? You want to fast track other matches? Why didn't you give Leo Rush the title shot at SummerSlam? Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jeff Hardy? Right now it's a one-on-one match. WWE could obviously add a Randy Orton to the mix, but another Extreme Rules rematch. I'm pretty sure this one's not going to end in 5 seconds, but another Extreme Rules rematch. Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. Doesn't really scream SummerSlam to me. Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. WWE has potentially one of the best storylines of the entire year. Right here with Daniel Bryan and The Miz. Is it being fast-tracked? Probably. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to enjoy it. That's the only other match that I'm looking forward to outside of this one. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. Match I can't wait for. And WWE better not go the route of Nakamura and Styles at WrestleMania. You let these guys go out there with no handcuff at all. Let them tear the house down. They know each other better than they know their own families. Let them go out there and tear the Barclays Center down and really give us a true main event. Rusev and Lana versus Andrade and Zelina Vega. This is a match that I wanted to open SummerSlam. They really are opening SummerSlam. It's on the fucking pre-show. And then the B team, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel versus the Revival. Dash and Dawson. I don't give a fuck. I haven't given a shit about the Monday Night Raw Tag Team titles all year. Ever since Rollins and Jordan lost them. Done. I don't care. The Bludgeon Brothers, Harper and Rowan versus the New Day. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. None of these matches outside of 2 scream excitement to me. I would never pay to sit at SummerSlam. I barely want to watch this thing on television for $9.99. And WWE wants to know why there's no excitement around SummerSlam. Well, maybe because you don't plan things out long term. Maybe to an actual human being with a brain, you didn't put any effort into SummerSlam. You took the cheap road. You took the cheap route in giving me rematches from Extreme Rules. You couldn't come up with a better idea to give me anything new for SummerSlam. So you went back into the fucking old bag and gave me Extreme Rules rematches. This is a product of WWE not doing long-term planning and long-term booking. I am a very old school mind. I want to see things play out. These matches could have ended. These feuds could have ended at Money in the Bank or Extreme Rules. And WWE could have given us new feuds, new matches. But they didn't care because they don't plan. WWE goes about their business, goes about their TV weeks on a week-to-week basis. Yet then we, as fans, we get called out by the wrestlers themselves for being bitchy and complain too much and shut up and just enjoy it. We're paying money for merchandise, we're paying money for seats, we're paying money, all this money to watch you perform and watch a company put on a wrestling show, and this is the end product that they give us. And then you're telling me that I don't have any right to fucking complain, to just shut up and enjoy it for what it is? Or if you don't like it, don't watch it? How can anyone be pleased with this fucking SummerSlam? How can anyone look at this fucking card and feel like it's SummerSlam? No. Not at all. This doesn't feel like SummerSlam to me. This just feels like WWE putting on another show for 5 hours and calling it SummerSlam. They wish it was SummerSlam, but this is nothing more than Extreme Rules disguised in a nice SummerSlam logo with a nice catchy theme song and a big billboard that's posted up in front of the Barclays Center. What you're really watching is Extreme Rules 2.0 with a difference here and there. Everything you've seen, we've seen already. Outside of 2 matches. So what are you legitimately getting that's different? Nothing. I can't wait for TakeOver, man. That's where my SummerSlam is really going to be. But let's go over these things, man. Might as well start at the top. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal Championship. You know, I said it on Monday Night Raw review with the pepper spray, quote-unquote, pepper spray to the eye of Roman Reigns. Before that, Paul Heyman did his best to negotiate a handshake with Roman Reigns. We don't know what that paper had written on it. And WWE did troll us and tease something that we all wanted and all figured they would eventually do, and they have not done it yet. For 4 years, we've been asking for this guy to turn heel, and we haven't seen any inkling of that happening yet. You know, WWE has done everything to vilify Brock Lesnar and portray him as something that we already know he is. We know he doesn't give a shit. We know he doesn't care. And WWE has done everything in their power to make sure Roman Reigns is the man who stands up for the good of the company, who wants to be a fighting champion, who wants to bring the Universal Championship back to Monday Night Raw and defend it every week. Sure you do. Sure you do. WWE has used everybody in this story. Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle, Baron Corbin, Finn Balor. They've used Paul Heyman. They used Bobby Lashley. You name it, they used it to get this guy over. And nothing has worked. And I've said it every single week. If you're going to have a 5-hour show, and this is going to be your main event, do you really think New York City is going to accept what you're giving them here? 5 hours of SummerSlam, 5 hours of a subpar show, and that's the last match that you're putting on? A match between two guys for a championship that's fucking absolutely worthless. You honestly think New York City is going to sit there and take it? Or do you think that it's going to be worse than what New Orleans did to these two guys? The definition of insanity. WWE has had the commentators go on and on and on about the definition of insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over again and expecting a different result. WWE is explaining to everybody what they are. They are insane. This will be a failure come the main event of SummerSlam. And I will sit here during the review and tell you guys, first thing out of my mouth is, I told you so. I absolutely told you so. WWE has two guys here that nobody wants to see. And WWE teased something that we all know needs to happen, a Roman Reigns heel turn. WWE played up the fact that Brock Lesnar disowned Paul Heyman. Choked him out, F5 Kurt Angle. Paul Heyman came out and said in an interview with Renee Young, when Renee Young asked him, who do you think is going to win this Universal Championship match at SummerSlam, Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns? Paul Heyman went on to say he's never seen a more violent Brock Lesnar. You can't have a violent Brock Lesnar go into SummerSlam and lose, can you? And then Paul Heyman said, I've never seen him more violent. Unless. And then he takes off his microphone and says, goodbye. Renee Young is like, unless what, Paul? Unless what? And walks away. Then we see Paul Heyman come out and lobby to shake Roman Reigns' hand. He even went as far as to do the entire intro he does for Brock Lesnar with Roman Reigns. And listen, it sounded good. It sounded good. What was written on that piece of paper, we don't know. But as that paper was about to be handed to Roman Reigns, he was blinded with pepper spray. Out came Brock Lesnar, and out came Brock Lesnar beating down Roman Reigns. The first swerve we seen was Brock Lesnar choking out Paul Heyman. The second swerve we seen was Paul Heyman being very indifferent to everything that happened. The next swerve we seen was Paul Heyman coming out and trying to lobby a friendship, a partnership with Roman Reigns. The swerve after that was it was all a setup. Paul Heyman came out, pepper sprayed Roman Reigns, held up the Universal title as Brock Lesnar came out and destroyed Roman Reigns. Is there another swerve coming? What was on the paper? What we seen on Monday night, is that the swerve before the swerve? WWE has only one of two options here. One of two options. And none of them include Roman Reigns winning this match or the championship. Option number one. Brock Lesnar goes in there and he treats Roman Reigns like he did John Cena a few years ago at SummerSlam. At this very event, we've seen 14, 15 German suplexes to John Cena and an absolute decimation of the face of this company in 10 minutes. And everybody was shocked. How do you turn the fans against Brock Lesnar even more? You have him retain that Universal Championship. You have Brock Lesnar destroy Roman Reigns and exit the Barclays Center on Sunday night, and still you're Universal Champion. That's one option. The other option is if WWE wants Roman Reigns to win this match, which I wouldn't understand why they would want him to win this match at all. I am anticipating a Roman Reigns win with the other option, and Roman Reigns wins this match in decisive fashion, and I mean quick. What WWE cannot do here is give me a 20-minute match like we've seen at WrestleMania. We cannot see that. If you do that, you're setting yourself up for failure, and WWE ultimately will pull the plug on this match early because the fans will revolt. If we see exactly what we see at WrestleMania, at SummerSlam, then the fans are going to get restless, and this match will be a failure from the get-go. You cannot do that. The one thing WWE cannot do here is give me a 20-minute match between these two guys. It's either a quick decision on Brock Lesnar's behalf or a quick decision on Roman Reigns' behalf. The middle is that long 20-minute match, and you don't want to do that. I am telling you right now, it will fail. And it will be the biggest fucking failure that this company has ever seen with Roman Reigns. People are anticipating a Braun Strowman cash-in. People want Braun Strowman to cash in. People think Braun Strowman's going to be the one true savior of this show. If I'm booking this, I'm having Brock Lesnar beat Roman Reigns, and Brock Lesnar is booked for Monday Night Raw. Brock Lesnar hasn't wrestled on Monday Night Raw in 9 years. I would change that going into Monday Night Raw. I would have Brock Lesnar wrestle a match on Monday Night Raw, and I would have Braun Strowman cash in on Monday night because I feel the fans, if Brock Lesnar wins that match on Sunday night and he goes into New York on Monday in the same venue and Braun Strowman comes out and cashes in that briefcase, I think that would be one of the biggest pops of 2018. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. And Paul Heyman, if you want him to be away from Brock Lesnar, you have it go on as planned for Sunday. Paul Heyman is aligned with Brock Lesnar on Sunday night. We go into Monday, he's still with Brock Lesnar. The cash-in happens, and then we see Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns come out of nowhere. And that partnership that we thought we were going to see on Monday is something that we see happen on Monday night. Because if Braun Strowman wins this championship and leaves New York City with the Universal Championship, Braun Strowman is going to be a babyface. You're not going to book Braun Strowman as a heel. There are rumors going around that WWE has a program planned between Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship on Monday Night Raw. And Braun Strowman as a babyface versus a heel Roman Reigns is something that I would like to see. You know, when Braun Strowman was first coming up on Monday Night Raw, Roman Reigns was the one who got him over. Roman Reigns was a huge part in getting the monster among men over on Monday night. They had some damn good fucking matches. And Roman went into that as, you know, an in-betweener. Braun Strowman was a heel going into that stuff. And then all of a sudden, people became just infatuated with Braun Strowman. They wanted to see more chaos. The more chaos that this guy, you know, showed you on Monday Night Raw, the more people gravitated towards him because he was unpredictable. He had that unpredictable aura about him. I think if WWE goes into this and turns Braun Strowman into a heel, it won't work. People don't want to boo Braun Strowman. They want to cheer Braun Strowman. So if Braun Strowman wins the Universal Championship on Monday night from Brock Lesnar and they turn Roman heel and align him with Brock Lesnar, that's the way I'd go about it. And I won't even stop there. I mentioned this time and time and time again. Roman Reigns aligns with the Authors of Pain. And Paul Heyman has two other Paul Heyman guys. You know, you took Paul Ellering away from the Authors of Pain. For what reason? Where are they now? Can you imagine Paul Heyman speaking on behalf of the Authors of Pain? You want to keep Paul Heyman on television, right? If Paul Heyman is aligned with Brock Lesnar, and Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar go to the UFC and do what they got to do for the UFC, Paul Heyman's not going to be on television because you haven't given us a reason to realize and think, oh, well, they're keeping him on television. You didn't give Paul Heyman a reason to stay per storyline. But if you align him with Roman Reigns and then add other pieces to the Heyman, the Heyman guy stigma, not only are you going to get Roman Reigns portrayed the way he needs to be, but then you'll get the Authors of Pain a mouthpiece that they so desperately need. And you'll have a new Roman Empire. And you'll have a reason to watch Roman Reigns. You'll have a reason to legitimately boo Roman Reigns. You'll have a reason to not complain about Roman Reigns anymore. Because he'll be portrayed in the right way. And Roman Reigns, if he's going up against Braun Strowman one-on-one, I think Roman trying to maneuver himself and cheat to get what he thinks rightfully belongs to him against a over-as-fuck babyface Braun Strowman, I think that works for me, man. I think that works for me. We don't know what's going on here. I don't know. For all I know, listen, Brock Lesnar could win this match on Sunday, and WWE could keep the title on him until fucking January. Because it's not out of the realm of possibility, and people are starting their conspiracy theories, that Roman Reigns is going to lose this match, and Brock Lesnar is going to take this title into the UFC, and by some hooker-crook situation, Brock Lesnar is going to win the UFC championship, and there's going to be some sort of weird partnership between the UFC and WWE, where Brock Lesnar is not only the UFC champion, but the Universal champion, and everybody makes all this kinds of money, and all this types of exposure, and all this types of spotlight is on both companies. It's not out of the realm of possibility. I want something that needs to happen. I want something that should have happened 4 years ago to happen here. If Roman Reigns does not walk out legitimately as a Paul Heyman guy, aligning himself with new members in the Authors of Pain, I don't give a shit. If Roman Reigns does not come out of this portrayed as a heel, I don't give a shit. If Roman Reigns walks out of Barclays Center with the Universal Championship, this is a mistake. And whatever you have done with Roman Reigns, it's all going to be washed away. Because all the effort that you put in to try and get this guy over, what was it for? To have him win the championship and then be booed out of the fucking building 2 straight nights? In one of your major markets? Your own backyard? And people are talking about Kevin Owens winning the Money in the Bank briefcase. Why? Why are we talking? Listen, it could happen. Knowing this company, I would not be shocked. But why would they do that? Why would you make Braun Strowman look like a dumbass? He's looked like a dumbass for the last 3 weeks with this Kevin Owens bullshit and this storyline. Why would you take the briefcase off him? Only to have him lose it to Kevin Owens. And then Kevin Owens walk out of the Barclays Center as Universal Champion, and then we get to see Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens for the Universal Championship? We've seen that already. We don't want to see that again. You're going from rinse and repeat to rinse and repeat. It's about time WWE hits the reset button on everything. You really want the first program to be Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens for the Universal Championship? That doesn't spell excitement to me. I'd much rather a Braun Strowman. People, want to see Braun Strowman versus a heel Roman Reigns. I'd rather see that. That's more intriguing to me. WWE has a lot of thinking to do. But I would not be shocked if Brock Lesnar walks out of the Barclays Center with the Universal Championship. Who am I going with? Listen, I'm no dummy. I'm going with Brock Lesnar winning this match. I really am. I'm not going for Roman Reigns. We thought he was going to win at WrestleMania, and they pulled the plug. Everybody thought that he was going to win at the Greatest Royal Rumble. They pulled the plug. I am not going with Roman Reigns this time. I'm going with Brock Lesnar. Because until WWE gives me any clue that they're going to take the title off of him, I'm not going with him. I'm not going with him to win the title, Roman Reigns. I'm going with Brock Lesnar. But out of every variable that could possibly happen, I think I went over legitimately everything. I don't know what else to say. I'm going with Brock Lesnar. I think the match is going to be a fucking failure. And the one thing I'm going to be keeping my eye on is the reaction. Because New York City is not going to let these guys get off easy. Especially after a 5-hour show. I'm going with Brock Lesnar. And that's my stance, and I'm sticking to it. Alexa Bliss versus Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship. Ronda Rousey, if there's one thing about Ronda Rousey, I like is that WWE has portrayed her in a very, very good way. They've done a great job about building her up. The time off television with this quote-unquote suspension really helped. I think WWE picked a right heel in Alexa Bliss. Now, I didn't really like Alexa Bliss winning the Money in the Bank and the championship at Money in the Bank. I didn't like it at all. I didn't understand why they did it. I would have went with somebody else. But the reason WWE did it all came into effect after. And we all realized looking back why they did it. It's because Alexa Bliss is the most over heel on the roster. And they need a good heel to make sure Ronda is that much better. And I said this with NXT. Listen, Alexa Bliss is where she is because she plays politics. I know this for a fact. She politics hard. She's lazy. She doesn't take and work as hard as everybody else does in that division. And somebody in WWE has an infatuation with blondes. Charlotte, Carmella, Alexa Bliss, whatever the reason is. There's got to be a reason why WWE is pushing blondes and women who can't wrestle over the others who actually can wrestle. You know? And I'm not here to say it's because of Alexa Bliss's look. Listen, Sasha Banks is absolutely fucking gorgeous. Why wouldn't she be a women's champion? Ember Moon is smoking hot. Why isn't she a Raw Women's Champion? Why? Becky Lynch is fucking beautiful. Why isn't she a SmackDown Women's Champion? I don't understand that logic. There's a reason why Alexa Bliss is where she is. It's because of internal politics. Okay? Charlotte's the same thing. Charlotte is off TV for a month and a half to get her breasts fixed, and then she's right back into a championship match. Meanwhile, we're all sitting here asking why. How can you be off TV for a month and a half and then find yourself in a championship match at SummerSlam? It's because her name is Charlotte Flair. There's internal politics. Okay? But Alexa, outside of all that, she's a good heel. She's a good promo. And she gets underneath everybody's skin. And that's why she's in the position that she's in. Now, with Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax, the only reason why that match went the way that it did is A, because Nia Jax is the much larger woman in the wrestling world. You know, we're not really taking into effect the MMA background of Ronda Rousey, even though we really should. Because no matter what your size is, I'm sure Ronda could beat the living shit out of you in mere seconds and make you tap out in mere seconds. But WWE wanted to play up the fact that Nia Jax was a much larger woman, and she wanted to throw her weight around. And that's exactly what they did. And Ronda Rousey, you know, had a problem being that it was her first singles match, and she couldn't overcome the much larger Nia Jax. You cannot do this here. Alexa Bliss is 5 foot, she's 100 pounds, and she's in the ring with an MMA fighter in Ronda Rousey. If this match, I want to go back to what Owens and Goldberg did at Fastlane before Goldberg went on to lose the title to Brock Lesnar, okay? It needs to be that type of match. What did Owens do in that match? He pretty much played cat and mouse with Goldberg, you know? Backed out of the match, outside, took a walk around, bell rang, it went 5 minutes, but in actuality, the match went like 30 seconds. Because as soon as Goldberg got his hands on Kevin Owens, it was over. That's exactly what they need to do here. If you need a blueprint for this type of match, Goldberg versus Kevin Owens at Fastlane, when he won the Universal Championship from Kevin Owens. That's exactly what you need to do here. This match, when it boils down to it, needs to be a judo throw, an armbar, and it's over. I don't need to see Alexa Bliss getting any offense on Ronda Rousey. It's not believable, and I don't want to see it. Simple as that. Ronda Rousey is the much superior athlete. Alexa Bliss is 5 foot, and anything that she does offensively will not look believable against Ronda Rousey. I am sorry, and I hope WWE realizes that. This match goes 30 seconds. They may stretch it to like 5-6 minutes because Alexa Bliss is a coward. Alicia Fox may play a part in this. But when Ronda Rousey gets her hand on Alexa Bliss, it's over. Judo throw, arm bar, done. Ronda Rousey's walking out the Raw Women's Champion. And she needs to walk out of SummerSlam the Raw Women's Champion. Seriously. Because you got to start prepping for what's to come with Evolution, and then you need to start prepping for what's going on with Survivor Series. You need to get your champions in place. And I'm not just talking about the Women's Championship. I'm talking about every championship. I'm legitimately talking about every championship in this company. You need to have the champions you want in place before you get to Survivor Series when it's Raw versus SmackDown. Because that's what it is. And if Alexa Bliss is going to lose this title to Ronda Rousey, I'm already thinking who Ronda Rousey is going to face at the Survivor Series. Is it going to be a Becky Lynch? Is it going to be an Asuka? Who is it going to be? That's where my mindset is. I hope WWE's thinking that same way. Ronda Rousey needs to win this match. No questions asked. Tap out, armbar, over, new women's champion. Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles. This is the one match of the two. This and the Daniel Bryan versus Miz match I'm looking forward to most. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. I loved Samoa Joe and the way he made this feud personal. I love AJ and the fact that he brought some good intensity to Samoa Joe. I love the fact that Samoa Joe on the Go Home show to SmackDown Live played the puppet master. Read a note saying that AJ, no longer has a fan in this person. Everything that you stated just a week ago, made me open my eyes to who AJ Styles really is. And it was signed Wendy Styles. It was signed by AJ's wife, supposedly writing a note to Samoa Joe, a fan letter, quote unquote. I love the fact that this was brought to a personal level. And it needed to because these guys have legitimate history. They do. They know each other better than they know their own families. And WWE needs to do one thing and one thing only here. You have no producer for this match. You have a winner picked out. You have an outcome picked out. And you let these guys go out there and do what they need to do to give me the best WWE Championship match of the entire year. I don't want this to be a failure like Nakamura AJ Styles was at WrestleMania. I didn't put a lot of stock in this match just based on what we've seen at WrestleMania because I was very disappointed, as were a lot of you disappointed in that match. I don't want to see the same thing happen here. And if we do, I don't really have any faith in the WWE Championship moving forward. I think AJ is going to win this match. I think AJ is going to retain the title, and I think it's going to be some sort of fuck finish here. I think WWE is going to definitely book this match for Extreme Rules inside a Hell in a Cell. Because they have to get this match to go another month, at least. This match, outside of it being Joe and Styles and them, the possibility of them tearing the house down, the one negative about this, outside of the great promos that we've seen so far and the fact that this is a dream match of sorts in WWE, is the fact that I think it's happening too fast. I feel like they're in step 2 or 3 already, or phase 2 or 3 with this feud. Meanwhile, in actuality, it just barely started. We've only seen 3 weeks of build here. And I feel like this has been going on for like 6-7 weeks now. That's where they are. I feel like WWE had to accelerate this feud to get it to where it is now to warrant a championship match at SummerSlam. And it's amazing how I mentioned in the opening, Samoa Joe, before he signed with NXT, WWE had no interest in signing Samoa Joe from Impact. They thought he was a fat Samoan. And I laughed at that. I really did. Samoa Joe, an indie guy. AJ Styles, an indie guy. You're indie marks. The social media degenerates say, you're nothing but indie marks. All your indie midgets. All your indie darlings. Now look at them. They went from being indie darlings to legitimately being the real main event at SummerSlam, WWE's second biggest pay-per-view of the year. It's amazing where these guys both came from, and now look at them. AJ Styles, an Impact guy. Samoa Joe, an Impact guy. Two guys who built Impact Wrestling. Carried Impact Wrestling on their backs. Now main eventing the second biggest pay-per-view of WWE's calendar year. If you came to me 8 years ago, 10 years ago, and said, yeah, AJ Styles and Samoa Joe are going to be headlining a WWE pay-per-view someday, people would laugh at you. And now here they are. Probably going to be the match of the night. I'm going with Styles. I think Styles is going to retain, and there's going to be some sort of fuck finish in that match, which leads to Hell in a Cell, which happens in September. The Bludgeon Brothers, Harper and Rowan versus the New Day. Some mixture of the New Day. We don't know who yet. But this is a match that came about with a tag team tournament. 4 teams calling a tournament. And it was the New Day up against the Bar. And the Bar haven't been seen on television before this tournament for 2 months. The WWE went with the New Day winning this tournament. And everybody thought that, oh my God, they're going with the New Day. The New Day are going to win the titles, blah, 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 against the Bludgeon Brothers. We've seen this at WrestleMania. You know, excluding the Usos here, it's pretty much the same match at WrestleMania. There's nothing exciting about it. And everybody wanted to see the fresh matchup in the Bar. I was actually intrigued about Sheamus and Cesaro going up against the likes of Luke Harper. I think that would have been fun to watch. But the reason why I think WWE went with the New Day is because the Bar is heel. The Bludgeon Brothers really aren't that over. They are a heel team. WWE's tried their best to put them in there and make them look intimidating and brutal, beating up jobbers left and right week after week. It's not really working. They don't really catch an interest with the WWE Universe. But the Bar would have been more refreshing because it would have been something we haven't seen before. But WWE went with the New Day because the New Day is safe. The New Day is a babyface team, and they feel like if the Bludgeon Brothers are heel, they would probably get a better reaction against the babyface New Day. And you couldn't really do that with the Bar. And honestly, I think the New Day are going to win the tag team titles here because the Bludgeon Brothers have been stale. They really haven't done anything with those tag team titles. And I feel after what we've seen with the New Day and the Bar in the finals of this tag team tournament, I think the New Day and the Bar is where you want to be as far as competing for the tag team championships. The Bludgeon Brothers, take a step back, reassess what you got with those guys. You know, add a little thing here and there to make them a little bit more interesting and intriguing. Go with the safe bet in the New Day. I'd rather see the New Day versus the Bar, the New Day versus Sanity, the New Day versus the Usos. I know it's rinse and repeat, but it's better than having the Bludgeon Brothers who aren't over against one of these babyface teams. That's the way I feel about that. I'm going with the New Day, and the reason why the New Day is in there is because they are probably the most babyface tag team in all of WWE, and that in itself is going to help the Bludgeon Brothers have a decent match at SummerSlam. I'm going with the New Day. You're going to see new tag team champions in the New Day at SummerSlam. Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens at for the Money in the Bank. This was a rematch from Extreme Rules. As you guys know, at Extreme Rules, Kevin Owens flew off the top of the steel cage and pulled a Mick Foley right through the announce table. Braun Strowman forced to put the Money in the Bank briefcase on the line here because Kevin Owens feels like Braun Strowman has been out to ruin his career and he's taken time away from his family. And now Braun Strowman, Kevin Owens feels like he wants to take what's most important to him. And that's the basis of this storyline. And the build for this has pretty much been trolling Braun Strowman, trying to steal the briefcase, trying to get him counted out, trying to get him disqualified. Just showing Braun Strowman that he's got to calm his emotions because anything that you do, one mistake, and that briefcase is Kevin Owens. I don't think Kevin Owens is winning this match. I think Kevin Owens right now is pretty much the class clown of Monday Night Raw. He's doing what he's doing to be as entertaining as can be, but they're not really taking him serious. And everybody's thinking, well, Kevin Owens is going to win the Money in the Bank. Kevin Owens is going to be the one. Everybody's saying Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman. And WWE's going to pull the wool over our eyes and have Kevin Owens walk out of SummerSlam with the Universal Championship. Is that something that I think would be exciting? Yes, because everybody wants to see Kevin Owens in a much better position than he is in now. What happened to the Kevin Owens that was on SmackDown Live? What happened to the Kevin Owens that was headbutting Vince McMahon? That was feuding with Shane McMahon? Now we got class clown Kevin Owens. It's like they can't get him on a consistent fucking schedule here. But why would you take the briefcase from Braun Strowman or give it to Kevin Owens? Like, you've already embarrassed Braun Strowman during this entire build. Braun Strowman is going to win this match. There's no doubt in my mind WWE is not going to take the briefcase from Braun Strowman. I'm going with a power slam. I'm going with a victory for Braun Strowman here at SummerSlam. Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins. Drew McIntyre in his corner. Dean Ambrose returning to be in Seth Rollins' corner. This is a tough one to call because I was hoping WWE would use the return of Ambrose to help the tag team division. That's what I really wanted. Ambrose and Rollins back together. Jason Jordan back with Chad Gable. Bring me American Alpha back together. Ziggler and McIntyre, they're a tag team. They're a duo. They can go for the tag team titles. You build a division around American Alpha, The Shield, the team of Ziggler and McIntyre, the Show-Offs, the Revival, the Authors of Pain. That right there is a solid division in which you can build around, you know? But I don't think that's going to happen. And a lot of people are talking about Ambrose and Rollins having some sort of issue here during this match. That Ambrose is going to turn on Rollins, and that's going to spark their feud. Honestly, I don't think that's where you want to go yet. I think that's a little bit too predictable. If Ambrose turns on Rollins, yes, it's needed. But I want to see something at least build towards that. You know? The thought of it coming out of nowhere is really exciting because I've been saying it for months. Ambrose needs a heel turn. And WWE brought him back because it adds a dash of difference to SummerSlam. They brought him back on Monday Night Raw, the go-home show, instead of at SummerSlam because it just certainly adds a different flair to the Intercontinental Championship match. I don't think Ambrose is going to turn on Rollins at all. I think if something is going to happen, it's going to happen because Ziggler loses the title here and something happens with Ziggler and McIntyre first. You've already established that McIntyre wants to kind of break out on his own. You can't keep them together for too much longer. McIntyre needs to be on his own. Ziggler needs to be on his own. Okay? This pairing was put together to get McIntyre to a certain level, and then McIntyre is going to go on his own. You can't do Ambrose and Rollins first before you do Ziggler and McIntyre. So I think Rollins wins the Intercontinental Championship here because, I mean, there's no other way for it to go. I mean, if Ziggler as a heel keeps the championship, right? There really is no other babyfaces on the show for him to defend the title against. I don't understand why WWE went against what made the Intercontinental Championship and the mid-card so great. That title needs to be on a babyface. Seth Rollins was doing such a great job as a babyface against everybody else in the mid-card. Rollins can go against McIntyre. Rollins and Ziggler. Rollins and Elias. Rollins and Rude. You know? Rollins could be a great antagonist to finally turn Bobby Roode heel. People love Seth Rollins. Bobby Roode needs to fucking completely change. He needs an overhaul. Can't really do that with anybody else. You could do that with a guy like Rollins. You know? Baron Corbin. Look at the people that you have on Monday Night Raw. Babyface. There's not many. There's more heels on Monday Night Raw than there are babyfaces. So I feel like the Intercontinental Championship needs to be on a babyface. And then if you want to build towards Ambrose getting jealous and waiting for him to strike when he wins the title and turns on him so he wins the title from Rollins, you took 9 months of my career. Now I'm going to take what's most important to you, the Intercontinental title. Build up to it. Build up to it. Have Rollins and Ambrose do what they got to do. Have Ambrose there, have him help Rollins win the title. That's the insurance policy. That's why he's there. But you can't take that title from Rollins and put it on Ziggler and then just keep it on Ziggler. It's not going to go anywhere. I think Ziggler loses this match. And Ziggler and McIntyre are split, or we see the beginnings of that. And then Rollins goes on and does what he's got to do. Rollins gets back to being that Monday Night Rollins. And then we see Ambrose eventually turn. You took 9 months of my career. Now I'm back to take what's most important to you. He helps him win it, and then he takes it from him. That's what I would do. Rollins wins the match. He wins the Intercontinental Championship. Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak. The money match, simple. Okay? Drew Gulak is not winning the Cruiserweight Championship. He's not. The money match is Cedric Alexander versus Lio Rush. Why would you abandon that? You know, some people don't like Cedric Alexander for whatever reason. I don't know. He's got a terrible promo. He isn't really all that exciting. I don't know what the fuck you're watching. Seriously. You know, Cedric Alexander is one of the best in-ring talents that WWE has. He is fantastic to watch. But taking the title off of him now? No. It's not going to Drew Gulak. The money match is Lio Rush versus Cedric Alexander. Cedric Alexander retains the Cruiserweight Championship. Carmella versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. I am going with Charlotte Flair here. I am going with Charlotte Flair. And the reason why I'm going with Charlotte Flair is A, because she's Charlotte Flair. And WWE, they need to keep their queen happy. That's simple. Becky Lynch, I feel like if Becky is being put in this position where she has to look over her shoulder and she's feeling slighted, that a Becky win here would be anticlimactic. That's just my honest opinion. I feel as if Charlotte wins this, and then Charlotte kind of rubs it in Becky Lynch's face, and we start to slowly see Charlotte turn into bitch Charlotte. I think that would be more beneficial for Becky, because if Charlotte wins the title, Becky could win the title in October at Evolution, and we could see this program build and build and build to where Charlotte is a full-blown heel. People are completely against Charlotte, and Becky's title win would be much better if she beats a heel Charlotte and people are rallying behind her and finally gets that big win over Charlotte. Because if Becky beats Carmella here, what does that really say? I beat Carmella for the Women's Championship. There's no money in that. We all think that Becky deserves the championship, but Becky beating Carmella for the championship? Yeah, it's what I want. Becky is champion, but Becky winning against Charlotte to me is a little bit more, A, beneficial for Becky, and it gets Charlotte to where she needs to be. Because again, I'm thinking long term. Charlotte is going to win the Royal Rumble. Ronda is going to be the Raw Women's Champion. Charlotte is going to challenge Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. That is what you're going to do at WrestleMania in New York City. So you better start planning for that now. And Ronda is not going to be anything but an over babyface. I would like to see Charlotte go into that match as a heel. I want to see her fucking channeling her inner father, her inner Ric Flair. And I want to see Ric Flair just come out when Charlotte is a heel. And I want to see her go against Ronda. That's what's going to bring that match to the most potential it could possibly be. I want Charlotte to be heel here, and I want that to begin now. And I want Becky to beat Charlotte at Evolution. I don't mind Charlotte being a transitional champion. I don't mind Charlotte winning the championship at SummerSlam for the sake of this storyline for Becky to finally get hers. I think that's the best solution, the best situation for this Women's Championship match. Plus, again, like I said, I'm thinking ahead. Ronda's going to be Raw Women's Champion going into Survivor Series. A Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey match at Survivor Series sounds pretty damn good to me. What do you guys think about that? Let me know. I'm going with Charlotte. Becky eventually will win the title, but not yet. Wait till Evolution. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jeff Hardy. This is a tough one to call, man. Honestly, I feel like this is the toughest match to call because we all know Randy Orton's going to play a factor in this match. We don't know what he's going to do. We don't know. Randy Orton could potentially help Jeff Hardy win this match. That's how much of a fucking psycho this guy is. Ultimately, to want to take the title from Jeff Hardy and kill him completely. I'm going with Jeff Hardy here. But Jeff Hardy has been so great in this Randy Orton transformation. You couldn't ask for anything better with Randy Orton. He targeted the right fucking guy. Jeff Hardy, he is one of the most over guys in the entire company. And the fact that Randy Orton has targeted Jeff Hardy and has materialized into a heel that he said himself, he's going to be a heel, a villain, a bad guy. He's going to be a sick fuck to a point where he's going to have the children and their mothers take the children away from the television. That's how dastardly of a fucking bitch he's going to be. That's what I want to see. I want to see him get more vile, more sadistic, more fucking creepy. That's the type of Randy Orton we need to see. He's done a great job. He has stripped away Jeff Hardy. Taken the necklace, wiped the face paint off, ripped the sleeves, ripped the shirt. He hasn't used the RKO on Jeff Hardy yet because he knows the fans are going to pop for it. He's done everything to just say fuck you to the fans. He says the fans turned against him, they disrespect him. And I feel like Jeff Hardy's going to win this match. I feel like Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton inside Hell in a Cell is where they're going with this. That's what I think. And I think Jeff Hardy's going to walk out the United States champion. Sucks for Shinsuke Nakamura. You know, I'm hearing Shinsuke Nakamura rumors that he's not even going to re-sign with the WWE come January. That's when his contract's up. I don't know what's going to happen. I feel like Shinsuke Nakamura right now is in the wrong place at the wrong time. They fucked him up so bad. The heel run's been great. Heel Nakamura's been great, but they did not pull the trigger on Nakamura in the right time. And they gave him the United States Championship as a consolation prize because he didn't win the WWE Championship from AJ Styles. And now he's stuck here, and he seems like the third wheel. Nakamura seems like the third wheel going into SummerSlam. And I know you guys feel the same way with that. He really hasn't done much of anything with the United States Championship. I feel like Jeff is going to win the title back, and we're going to see Jeff and Randy Orton in Hell in a Cell for the United States Championship. I'm going with Jeff Hardy. I'm going with Jeff Hardy winning the United States Championship. Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. Simple. I'm going with Finn Balor. Baron Corbin's got the best of Finn Balor. And, you know, the little engine that can't. You know, Balor's been cutting him down, calling him small, and buying Fisher-Price houses for him. And, you know, all this other shit. Trying to get one up on Finn Balor by putting him in handicap matches. And Kurt Angle overturning it. Trying to do anything he can to get one over on Finn Balor. Finn Balor's going to win. Coup de grace against Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin got a clean victory over Finn Balor on Monday Night Raw a couple of weeks ago. I think Finn Balor gets his revenge here and gets his win back. 50-50 booking. It benefits nobody. Both of these guys are absolutely worthless to Monday Night Raw. Balor is lost in a sea of nothing on Monday Night Raw. The least that they could do is give him a victory. Rusev and Lana versus Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega. I'm going with Rusev and Lana. I'm going with Lana pinning Vega. You cannot pin Andrade Cien Almas. He is the money man here. He is going to be a guy that you push moving forward. Rusev Day has been on the receiving end of a few losses here, with Vega getting a few wins over Lana. I'm going with Lana and Rusev here to get their victory at SummerSlam. I'm going with Lana pinning Vega to get her match, or her victory rather, since we've seen two straight losses to Almas and Vega on SmackDown Live. The B Team, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel versus The Revival. I think the B Team got rid of the Deleters of Worlds. I think they beat them, or they actually won the tag team title match on Monday Night Raw and ended that. They're not getting another title shot. So now we got The Revival. I think The Revival are going to win. I think it's about time you take the titles off the B Team. Their theme music is absolutely fucking horrendous. I don't know why they changed their old theme. The B Team theme right now is absolutely the personification of fucking jobber. You know, it is awful. Absolutely awful. I don't know whether they are the Spirit Squad or they are an actual fucking tag team. I don't know. It is awful. I'm going with The Revival. Revival finally gets the tag team championships, but even at that moment, what is it worth to them? Tag team wrestling is dead on Monday Night Raw. You could take the titles off the B Team and put them on a great team like The Revival. What the fuck are they going to do with Revival as tag team champions? You know, you either fix the division or you don't. And I have no hope for tag teams right now on Monday Night Raw. Finally, guys, Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. I expect this to be the sleeper match of the night. You know, with The Miz and the body of work that he's done against the likes of Rollins and Jeff Hardy, I expect nothing short of a fucking classic between these two. And the crowd is going to be fucking hot for this match. The build for this has WrestleMania written all over it. What I would do here to end this review, I'm going with The Miz beating Daniel. Daniel Bryan, by the way, is signing with the WWE. There's no reason why Daniel Bryan's going to be in the 2K showcase. Daniel Bryan said on Sam Roberts that he's more than likely signing with the WWE. WWE is not going to let Daniel Bryan go. They're going to listen to whatever this guy wants. They're going to give him the best offer that they possibly can. They're going to give him the freedom to do whatever he can. Okay? Creative, you know, who he wants to work with, whatever. The guy asks for something, you give it to him. WWE's not going to give this guy any reason to go to the Indies, to go to All In, to go to fucking Madison Square Garden G1. They're not doing any of that. Daniel Bryan's re-signing with the WWE. He's already advertised for the Super Show in Australia. They advertised him on SmackDown Live. So WWE has a pretty good idea of where Daniel Bryan's going to end up, and he's staying with the company. But still, even if he does sign with the company, I do not have him beat The Miz here. I'm going with The Miz. I'm going with The Miz, and then I'm going with The Miz eventually being the one to take the title off of AJ Styles. Because if The Miz beats Daniel Bryan, that is no walk in the park. The Miz has every fucking right to come out on SmackDown Live and say, I beat Daniel Bryan. I think I deserve a shot at the WWE Championship. And by however way you want to spin it, The Miz wins the WWE Championship. And Daniel Bryan fights his way back. He wins the Royal Rumble. We get a rematch between these two guys at WrestleMania. And Daniel Bryan wins the World Championship, the WWE Championship, in WrestleMania in the main event of that show. That's what I would do. And I'm going with The Miz to beat Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan doesn't need this win. He doesn't. Because this isn't the first time. This is not over. Not even close to being over. If Daniel Bryan beats The Miz has absolutely nothing following this match. If Daniel Bryan loses this, he won't lose 1 ounce of momentum. And The Miz will go on and brag for months how he beat Daniel Bryan. How Daniel Bryan could go to the Indies. Go back to your fucking gymnasiums and your bingo halls. Now I'm the main event. I'm going to challenge for the WWE Championship. Daniel Bryan could go on and he can build a storyline of working his way back up. And then eventually, you can spin it to where he wins the Royal Rumble and challenges for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. That's the way I go about it. The Miz beats Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam in a feud that is not over by a long shot. I'm getting out of here, man. Holy shit, I did that all in one fucking take. Am I a beast or what? Jesus Christ. No rest for the weary, huh? I had a fucking huge coffee, Dunkin' Donuts, got here, recorded, and boom, we got off the script. Thank you guys so very much, man. Remember, House of Glory tonight starts at 7. High intensity, 7. It's going to be great, man. Unbelievable. I'm going to bring my best fucking commentary performance to date. I can't wait to see what happens. It's going to be an awesome night. Me and Solomon Monster working for the first time together ever. Going to be great. Come on out, HOGWrestling.net. Come out and say what's up. I accept Corona. I'm going with a light beer, okay? They do serve Guinness, but they don't serve my type of Guinness, man. I like Guinness Draw, okay? They got Guinness Stout, that extra stout. I don't like that. So I'm accepting Corona with lime tomorrow if you guys want to come up to me and say what's up. HOGWrestling.net. Make sure Saturday as well, I'll leave you guys a pinned comment down below. Please RSVP if you want to come on out to the 4th Avenue Pub, 76 4th Avenue. And it's 3 blocks, 3 minutes from the Barclays Center. Come on out. I'll be wearing my SummerSlam 2018 t-shirt. We're going to have a good time, drink some craft beer, talk about wrestling, call me a goon, call me an asshole, whatever, man. I will be there. Come on out. 4th Avenue Pub on Saturday from 2 to 5 p.m. And then Sunday, Justin LeBar, ticket drew, 205th, right before SummerSlam. Hit that thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter, at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. We are dangerously close from 296,000 subscribers, man. I want to hit that by the end of the weekend, and then we can get ready for All In. Thank you guys so much, man. This has been your SummerSlam preview and predictions. I'm getting out of here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with part 2 of episode 235. I'll talk to you later.